I'm here at a cafe in France, and I have the English menu.
Oui, oui, on est là, et ça c'est le menu en français.
Okay, this looks like the kids' menu, which is probably appropriate.
It probably is a kids' menu.
But I'm here with my friends.
Hello.
And you know Bob. Be that good or bad. We just spent the whole meal talking about the film. Now, Antonio... The film. Antonio has a background, and this beautiful young couple has studied the hero's journey. So I just blurted out everything for an hour or two. So, your thoughts or advice? First, what did you think? And what I
take all of the stories that you like, put them out now, and in the right order. But don't worry about which ones go in, which ones go out, and that comes later. And when you start actually writing, then it's a good idea that you get support, like you often do from people that care for you, from coaches, that can give you good advice about what stays in and what goes out.
And what were your thoughts on the scenes so far, or the stories? Do you think it fits the hero's journey, or?
So far, I think they do. The only one I have a little doubt about is about the ordeal, because it has to be pretty strong. Not only the moment itself, but the moment of going out of it. So we need to have a moment in which we see the main character in action, doing something, taking ownership of his journey to get out of that situation. So if we get that one, it'll work.
Thoughts?
To give your character a name and to put him out there. Sometimes to identify a little less and get some distance yourself. Like the characters play. Makes it easier to deal with him, because the hero, it's a difficult journey.
Yeah, because that'll help you to tell the emotional truth, and not necessarily the truth.
The actual truth. Where have I heard that before? My own stuff coming back at me. Ouch! Sir Bob.
I need to think about some things. Maybe I can tell you some more tomorrow. What I would say now is, are you absolutely sure that you want to do this as a fiction as opposed to a documentary? And I don't know, did you see, you know the movie that got the documentary got the Oscar this year was Searching for Sugar Man?
No.
I highly recommend seeing that, but it's a documentary about an incredible story. There's the hero's journey there. Have you seen the movie? I highly recommend it. It's still in Paris, but the whole documentary is done after the fact. Okay, it was a story that pretty much happened, and then
So it's done in narration, not dialogue.
Well, yeah, sort of. Not really. I mean, what they did was...
She's laughing.
They went back and interviewed all of the people who were part of that story. So it's actually more monologue, actually, than narration. You know, but of course, in the way it's edited together. So it's anyway. I just think it's in any case, it's worth looking at that movie. Period. And secondly, because of, I think in a way, of what Suzanne said. You know, you're talking about the story as about me, about I. And she's saying, well, if it's fiction, then it's really about Darren or some other name. And I think you have to make a choice.
Why would you have to choose?
Okay, you're going to have to cut that part.
Both.
Why not?
Both what? Documentary
and fiction.
Metaphors would be a good idea. Getting down to images and
So, Bob, one more question for you. What was a scene that you liked?
Well, I can picture the church scene, and it's funny. It's funny because of the stick figures, etc.
The safety net metaphor in the end is very important.
The dragnet safety net. Yeah. That's good.
Well, I'm pretty reassured now that that other people also had screwed up mentors, and so they can be screwed up as much as they want to, and they can still help us.
Well, in my reading, I realized that that's actually an important thing, that they are kind of screwed up and they aren't perfect.
Yeah. So that's a big learning.
And it's very important to hear in a personal.
So I did more than 17 minutes. This was actually really good for me because just talking it out and getting that kind of feedback, knowing the dragnet's important, hearing that the church scene will come across as funny. So I want to thank my friends, Antonio, Suzanne. Well, Antonio and Suzanne anyway. I love Bob. He's funny. Anyway, so talking about your dream is something that could move you forward too. But be careful who you open up to. I was very careful, and because of Antonio's film background and making sure they knew about the hero's journey, that's why I kind of expressed that, because I knew I was in a safe environment, and I knew, because you have to be careful who you tell your dream to, because somebody can give you one word and deflate your dream instantly. So that's one thing I learned the first time around. You got to be careful who you listen to. So be careful. Go to people you know will be encouraging, or at the least, definitely not discouraging, because it's your dream. You are the CEO. So we'll see you tomorrow. Good night. What are you doing for your dream today?